Queens battles Lenoir-Rhyne on Wednesday night in Hickory, North Carolina, and Royals associate head coach Grant Leonard is here with us. Coach, Lincoln Memorial on Saturday, obviously a major game, battling for the spot atop the conference standings and atop the region. They win it on a virtual buzzer beater, 0.6 seconds left on the clock. Trayvon Shaw hits a jumper, 81-79, the final score. As you look at that game, what's your overall takeaway from Saturday afternoon?
You know, the first thing is two really good basketball teams battling in a showdown that really, meant a lot to both teams. I thought that the quality of basketball was exceptionally high. We were up a little bit late with about 6 minutes to go, and we just couldn't make the plays to win. We've now played 85 minutes of basketball with Lincoln Memorial, and it's been, neck and neck, even and even in all facets. So our next matchup or two is going to be an exceptionally well-played game, and whichever team makes the best adjustments will win going forward.
And I think it's important to note that in those two contests, you won by 2 on your home floor, they won by 2 on their home floor. So obviously a tightly contested game, and I know I've talked about it with you and Coach Lundy this year could be just the second of maybe 3 or 4 meetings, as you just alluded to. Still tied for first place, 17-3 in the South Atlantic Conference standings. I'd imagine if I told you coming into the season that would be your record, you'd still be in position for a SACC co-championship with the week left in the season. You'd be pretty happy. So assess the season in that regard.
Well, the season's been really good, from start to finish. Right now, we have a week left in the regular season, and to be in position to win our first SACC championship ever is a good position to be in. We control our own destiny in that regard, and that's what we wanted to have. So at this point, we don't need anyone to beat Lincoln Memorial. If we win our 2 games, we'll be co-champions with Lincoln Memorial, which is a fine team.
And it's Lenoir-Rhyne here on Wednesday, then Tusculum at home for Senior Day on Saturday. Let's talk a little bit about Lenoir-Rhyne. You played them earlier this year. It was a close game until about 12-minute mark. Then Queens pulls away and wins it by double digits in a runaway victory in the second half, though. What can you learn from the first time around versus the Bears?
Well, I think that the first thing that we learned is that how quality their shooters are, and we talked about it before the last matchup, but they have oftentimes 4, sometimes 5 guys on the floor that all can hit perimeter shots, and how that can change any game is huge. So we've really learned about our opponent, and we have to be able to apply that and be able to guard for 40 minutes, and every 30 seconds of the shot clock, we have to really make sure that we know who we're guarding, who's shooters, and we've got to deny shots from the three-point line.
And it seems like for them, there's no real one guy that gets it done. They spread it around pretty well. Also, defensively, they'll play quite a bit of zone. For example, Lincoln Memorial was almost entirely half-court man-to-man. For you on the offensive end, how does that change things here on Wednesday night?
It doesn't really change much. Our offensive goals are still the same. We'd like to attack the rim to start, and then also to make open shots. So whether it's man or zone, we try and accomplish the same goals. With their offense being so balanced, it makes them harder to guard, because you can't key on one player or another, and you have to do a good job against all 5 guys every single possession. So it's an intriguing matchup, and they're a very well coached team. They play exceptionally hard, and playing in Hickory, it's one of the hardest gyms to play in, because they really have an unbelievable crowd, and their home court advantage is really distinct.
Fans are right on top of you there at the gym in Hickory, and they are a team that is also fighting for some position toward the bottom half of the conference standings and looking to get into the SACC postseason tournament. So it should be a good one on Wednesday night. Queens and Lenoir-Rhyne from Hickory. We're on the air with the play-by-play coverage on queensathletics.com/Royals live at 8 p.m. Grant Leonard, Associate Head Coach of the Royals. Coach, appreciate it.
Thanks, Phil.